Welcome to part 2 of the eCRF video. We'll concentrate more on the critical care eCRF and the study matrix. In order to provide a patient for the critical care eCRF, we're quickly entering a new patient here with a rather portentous EuSOS ID number. And as you can see, this is a slightly sicker patient than the previous patient entered. And they are going to critical care. Of note, at the bottom there, admission to critical care, yes, no, clicked yes. This is saved, mark complete, and again, the green tick. The critical care eCRF can be scheduled either by going to the subject record and clicking on Add New Event, or if you want to add a critical care eCRF to a previous patient, you can find your patient in the study matrix. Now you can do this either by scrolling through and finding the patient, or by adding a filter, which is essentially a search term. As you can see there, we have searched by the patient's EuSOS ID, clicked Apply Filter, and it has brought up our patient. You can also use other filters to look for eCRFs that have been started and not completed, eCRFs have been scheduled and no data entry has started, and you can also look to see if any eCRFs have been completed. If you want to clear any search terms or filters, you merely need to click Clear Filter. For the purposes of demonstration, we'll now return to our previous patient by putting in their study ID, clicking Apply Filter, and then clicking on the page icon below critical care. As you can see, by clicking Schedule here, we can schedule a critical care eCRF. Alternatively, we can use Schedule Event from the task menu. The advantage of going to the task menu is that you don't need to find the patient in the matrix, you can just enter their study ID directly. So finally, we find our patient in the matrix and schedule a critical care event. As you can see, by doing it this way, we've pre-filled the study subject ID and the study event definition. We enter our location and then proceed to enter data. Again, we move to data entry by clicking on the icon of the pencil over the page. Just a reminder that before completing the eCRF, you should already have completed the paper CRF with all available data, especially that corresponding to mortality and discharge. So on the critical care eCRF, you fill in the same EuSOS ID code that we used before for this patient and fill in the data as shown here. You'll note that as a matter of demonstration, we won't be filling in some of the mandatory fields, just to show what happens if we don't do that. The physiological data, as shown here, is not mandatory. However, again, including it will lead to better quality data and a better quality study. If it is indicated that the patient is on inotropes, then the doses do then become mandatory fields. Note that when we've hit save, it's telling us we're missing data in a required field, and those required fields are marked with exclamation marks as shown here. The error messages at the top actually are hyperlinks to the missing data. When the first hour eCRF is completed, you'll note that it moves automatically to the 24-hour tab, where you can indicate whether the patient was in critical care for more than 24 hours, and if so, complete that data. The same is true for the 24-hour, moving automatically onto the 48-hour tab. And again, if the patient has been in critical care for 48 hours, please complete the data on this form. The final tab of the critical care eCRF is critical care discharge tab. As you can see, this is the tab that includes the Mark CRF Complete checkbox, which obviously you will tick when you are happy that the CRF has been fully completed. If you decide to not tick it, then the CRF remains open for data editing and can be entered again as shown here to edit any data points that require it before moving back to the Critical Care Discharge tab and marking the eCRF complete. Again, you will note that completion of the eCRF is denoted by a green tick. Thank you for entering your data, and thank you for being part of the European Surgical Outcomes Study. If you have any further questions, they can hopefully be answered on our website, or alternatively you can put them to us directly by emailing info@eusos.esicm.org. Thank you again.